What's up, landlords? No pay, no stay. I got a squatter lineup, and I just wanted to put together something. It's been a bit since I made a video. So if you want to keep squatters out and you're a landlord, here's some tips I put together for you. Get someone to stay in the property. Ideally, you don't want to leave it vacant. Maybe if you have a guard dog or somebody that has a big dog, put the dog in there. Don't use for sale signs or lockbox. Friendly reminder to read the fine print of your insurance, because there might be a vacant property clause. In that case, you need to get a vacant property insurance policy for that time period. If you must leave the property vacant, consider these tips. Filing an authorization to act with the local police department and posting no trespassing signs. Do daily inspections. Install cameras inside, outside. Obviously, you want to put them somewhere noticeable. Don't try to hide them. Security alarm, and put that security sign out front. Leave lights on inside, outside. But if the squatters do sneak in, here's a few tips. Consider cash for keys. When you approach them, don't provoke them, because obviously they can get violent. They can damage the property or steal appliances and stuff. If the place is trash, like outside, you can see noticeable like hazards and stuff. Maybe you can consider calling code enforcement. Or lastly, which I'm going to cover in this video, are like squatter removal services. I guess they're growing in popularity because the squatters are on the rise and it's just a big deal right now. So check this stuff out that I got.
In Bellevue are protesting against a tenant who they say has been living in a man's home without paying rent since last May. The group rallied outside that home yesterday. KOMO's Paul Rivera has more.
The sign says serial squatter lives here.
People need to take responsibility for their actions.
A large protest outside of Jaskaran Singh's home on 123rd Avenue Southeast in Bellevue is the culmination of almost a year in missed rent payments by the man who KOMO decided not to name, that is staying inside the home. The landlord said he's taken an $80,000 hit on this. The last time rent was paid was last May, and the eviction process has been anything but issue-free. Singh's attorney, Stephen Freeborn, spoke to us on the phone about the rally. Is there a message you want to give to the community?
I was there, and I thank them for all coming, because it was not just community rally, but there were people that came as far away as Tacoma, Olympia. And what I really appreciated was we had representatives from both the Democratic and Republican parties, which I was very surprised, and I'm very happy to see, because this should not be a partisan issue.
The tenant who is in this house with his family moved in during the summer of 2022. Eventually, eviction proceedings were filed, but then the Housing Justice Project paid back rent in a 3-month advance so the family could find somewhere else to move. But instead, the tenant didn't leave. An eviction is again underway, but the Housing Justice Project also got that delayed. It is a judicial system that Freeborn claims is hurting landlords and tenants.
These cases are supposed to be resolved within 30 days. And now that they're taking a year or more, landlords, including my own clients, they were willing, when they knew that they could get somebody out relatively quickly through the process, they were willing to take risks with these tenants. So what's happening is landlords are being very, very cautious about who they're renting to. And so the system is created is a form of discrimination.
Paul Rivera, KOMO.
That's a good point. I haven't heard that argument before, but if this is an issue like all these squatter concerns, landlords are going to be more and more strict and cautious, and going to be more discriminatory towards risky people that might have some stuff on their record that's a little questionable. I thought I had another. Yeah, I could only find this one on X. Check this one out.
From their neighborhood. They say he is a con man and owes over $40,000 in rent. But because of an eviction backlog, no one is doing anything about it.
So where's the rent? You haven't paid a rent for last 1 year. Weird. Hey, wait. I need to talk. You supposed that if the ordination is coming in.
First of all, you're recording without my permission. Two, I didn't pay. You already got the half a year of rent.
In 6 months, 6 months, you haven't paid rent.
Get out.
It's my house.
You just saw Jaskaran Singh confronting the squatter. He is the landlord of the property. He is joined with journalist Jonathan Cho, who uncovered this story. Good morning to you both. Jaskaran, it looks like it's pretty easy to live rent-free these days, which must be so frustrating for you. Tell us what you're going through.
It has since start of he started living July 2022, and he hasn't paid the rent. He paid for first month, 2 months rent, and after that he's being rent free. And the housing justice project, which is funded by, it has 32 lawyers and they have a lot of funding. I hired lawyer on my end and fighting, and they are simply exploiting the system, and I'm not getting a justice. Justice is delayed. I would say justice is denied. Judges are not ready to listen to me. And this is not what the American dream is. I'm reached out by a lot of landlords, small landlords, which are selling their house or they are not ready to invest in the state. And it's crazy situation here. Yeah. And I need a justice, and I lost the faith in the system. During our next hearing on April 5th, I don't know.
Oh, well, you don't know what's going to happen. Jessica, I can't believe you said he stopped paying his rent July of 2022. It's now March of 2024, almost 2 years later, and you're not getting any rent. So there was a protest that took place over the weekend targeting this type of squatting. Let's take a look at what that looked like.
No pay, no stay. No pay, no stay. Especially for smaller mom and pop type property owners. Where's the incentive for rental properties in our community when folks unfortunately can take advantage of that system?
This is a shame. It's a failure of the system.
And it's not about any parties. It's a bipartisan issue.
No pay, no stay. No pay, no stay.
This is destroying the American way.
We're just tired of criminals getting away with stuff.
Jonathan, you have been digging into this issue. People are fed up. What can you tell us about this? What's causing it? It feels like landlords have none of the rights and the squatters have all of it.
Yeah, this really goes back, as Jaskaran was saying, this backed up eviction caseload in the King County court system. It's completely broken. Again, just to be clear, this is a community right outside of Seattle called Bellevue. It's an elite neighborhood, and these homes are all multi-million-dollar homes. And this guy has been living rent-free now for, again, more than a year. And Jaskaran has tried. He's gone through the legal process, and this King County Housing Justice Project, a nonprofit for the King County Bar Association, somehow convinces these judges to get continuances, and it keeps getting delayed. And what I've uncovered is that that's the tactic. That's the entire play. That's the standard for success. Meanwhile, these mom and pop landlords are missing out. They're being completely demoralized. They're losing out on thousands of dollars. And many are now being forced to sell their properties. In the meantime, it's unclear how long this guy saying Kim is going to be allowed to stay there. So that's why, a lot of neighbors are now taking matters into their own hands. Others have contacted me, other landlords saying, hey, what can we do to get our own protests going? There's also concern about vigilante justice now, Carly. In that video, some of the neighbors were bashing on the door. Police had to interfere to get people off the property. So who knows where this goes?
Well, it must feel good, Jaskaran, for the community to come together like this to support landlords and get these squatters out of these homes that they are living rent-free in. And I know you say there's no law protecting the landlords. Justice delayed is justice denied, and we hear you on that front.
What's next? We already went over this one. Okay, this is where a landlord did the wrong thing.
I don't know the law. Yeah, there's laws. You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
How about that? A squatter standoff. A property owner confronts a group of people she says moved into her $1 million home in Queens, and our cameras were rolling as dozens of officers showed up.
Several people were taken away in handcuffs, and one of those arrested may surprise you.
Investigative reporter Dan Krauth joins us now with more on what happened. Tell us, Dan.
Well, this is a very big growing problem. I received dozens of tips from viewers about this in just the past week. I went to do what I thought was going to be a routine interview. Instead, we capture what police and property owners are dealing with on a daily basis.
I have video of you.
Who are these people?
Out the situation.
Yeah, but they're in my house, man.
Relax.
No.
To understand how this day ended,
We need the police right away.
with multiple 911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning.
Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name?
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6 and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found two men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmith. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs
They got one out.
and escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And it's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing?
Minutes later, a locksmith showed up, but police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed,
That's not going on.
the man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door, broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house. No, he did not. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. And so did you. You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own the house. I don't own it.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it
there's-
works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it.
He didn't show me a lease.
This is a bill.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested
For what?
For being
in my own home.
And where's your lease?
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed
That's
is
what was
current
told
and
to her.
legal.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there.
So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court.
That's crazy, man. I think this was just an example of the damage squatter leaves behind. And this is a property manager I looked up. He's rated pretty high. Oh yeah, this is like before and after.
Eviction day in Bridgeport. This has been a long time coming. Some people are able to make the court systems work for them. So there's a lot of stuff left in the apartment, a lot of stuff left on the property, and it's over there moving their stuff up. Loaded guys. Marshall's up there inventorying everything. Treasurer's left down here. Worse, I'm here before. And come in here, it smells like bug spray. I'm not getting traces. And this is what stuff there's left. All right, actually the guys have already made a dent in it. And there's a kitchen area. That was the living area we just came through. It's the kitchen area. Refrigerator's loaded with stuff. Interesting to see what happens here, because this is where their furnace is, and that, of course, isn't safe. Although I don't think they've had the gas on in a long time.
Fire hazard.
All right. And there's some treasures out on the back deck. There you go. Some stuff down below. Shed in the back is full. Didn't even look in the basement. I have no idea. They left stuff in there too. Nobody's supposed to go there, but nobody's supposed to do this either. So we hit over here. We have 2 bedrooms. And this is the first bedroom. A whole bunch of stuff left behind. All right. I'm not gonna open the closets or anything. Head back here. Here's the bathroom. Don't even want to know what it looks like inside there. Lots of stuff here. Lots of stuff here. And then here's the other bedroom. Still loaded with stuff. There's a closet back there somewhere. Beds, all kinds of stuff here. And that's kind of how it was left. These folks went to the end of the line on the eviction, used up all the programs they could. Then their karma ran out. So Marshall's here today with his guys taking all the stuff out. It'll all go in storage. And then we'll get this. We'll see what we're dealing with here. We'll get this place all straightened out. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's a professional property manager, and it happened to him. But I did find that happened in January, and it took up until now before they finally got it all fixed up. I think this is what it show. Yeah. Now they got it all cleaned up. Oh, look, is that a video?
Welcome in Bridgeport.
Oh, okay, so this is showing it all
There's
done
a
now.
large, generous living room area. The sizes, of course, are in the ad. Very, very large area. Which then leads us to a generously sized kitchen. Which is a perfect working and entertaining kitchen. Room for a table and the like. And this apartment features.
All right, you just see how all the good comes from this landlording. They're providing good housing. Where am I getting at? Okay, now in Las Vegas, you're going to learn about this private security company. All right.
Thousands of people have lost their homes in Clark County since the pandemic. It has created an opportunity for squatters to move on in.
Only on Fox 5, Victoria Saha tells us how this is becoming a big issue for private security companies and why it could be a problem near you.
Well, if you live in an apartment complex, no matter which part of town, there's a good chance you have a few empty units by you. And you may never know if that's now home to a squatter, and whatever they're doing inside could put you in danger. This is why security companies hired by apartment complexes are finding they have a lot more on their hands to keep you safe. The Las Vegas Valley is home to hundreds of apartment complexes.
Some of these apartment complexes that we are contracted on have upwards of 150 vacant units on one property.
Chief Jonathan Alvarez is the CEO of Protective Force International. His private security team contracts with more than 300 apartment complexes in town. Many with the same issue, squatters taking over.
For some of these folks, home is right upstairs or right next door to one of those vacant units.
The problem has gotten so bad that the security team has created their own task force just to handle this issue. Sergeant Jalen Thompson is the head of it. With the county evictions continuing to rise, the problem isn't going anywhere.
It's just a big fire we're attempting to put out.
The security team sharing exclusive video with Fox 5 showing the task force going into a vacant unit.
Clear.
And it's not just squatters looking for shelter.
We, essentially have found trafficked children in them. They constantly find narcotics and drug use. There have been fires.
The team can never tell what's behind the doors, so they're prepared for any danger lurking.
We have had officers that have been attacked with knives, with pipes, so we train for that unknown.
Most likely they'll have a shield with them. If it's a higher threat, like responding to an active shooter, active assailant, they'll don their helmets on.
And while they have boots on the ground, their drone can capture anyone trying to escape them. The team also works with Metro Police for when they do suspect there's criminal activity going on inside the units. They suggest property owners or management to not post exactly which unit they have available, because that's a key giveaway for a squatter to know they can move right on in. John.
All right, Victoria, thank you. And we should say that.
All right, here's their company. I looked it up online, and then I think I found them on X too. Yeah, that's over here. they're not rated too high. 3 is good out of 90. What else did I find? Okay, I followed them on X, and I'm gonna see what kind of content their posts support it. And then what else do I got? Squatter removal gone wrong. What is this?
Well, can I at least get a 5 or 4 days? 72 hours, bro. We got 72 hours. We got 72 hours notice. I had a lease agreement from the last guys.
Do you have a lease agreement? Do you have it with you? Can you produce it?
Yes, I can go upstairs and get it right now.
Produce it.
So right now he's getting his paperwork to produce to the certified squatter removal services that actually this investor is paying for. So you want to make sure you hire a professional that knows what they're doing when it comes to this, because you don't want no legal problems, right? So now we are about to review the documents. See what we got here. All right, Doc. Yeah, documents prove a different story. Now we're doing the court process and stuff like that.
So what's the problem? You got a place for us where we can move in. We got.
I don't know. I've been here 6 years. We've gotten 6 different cards from 6 different people.
Yeah, I have every document to prove that these guys own the property.
Okay, yeah,
I came that one time by myself. I was the guy.
And that's fine. We have no problem. But I don't want to move. I want to stay here.
So yeah, we just finished doing this squatter removal service, which is the notice. And one of the things we like to do before we get started is always giving them a notice on when we're going to come and what's about to happen, and also give us enough time to we got information. Yeah, for the scenery out, get updates of the photo, and also their IDs and if they had a lease agreement. So as we see, the lease agreements were expired, but hey, we're gonna see how this goes. So this is something that we're gonna have to go through the court process with, because their name is on like a lease, even though it's old. So.
You illegally broke into my house, not yours. Why you in here? Speak up. Man, in the car.
So I'm about to just give this notice to them right now, so that way they can, got our presence here. We got guys all the way around, so no one's came to it. I don't see any vehicles in the driveway nor on the side. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and make my approach to knock again. Just going to the back, you can see. Nice, pretty brick house. I know, right? I'm gonna go ahead and knock on the door. Property management. It was actually open, but I don't think nobody's here. So, yeah, the door was open. I was scared to call property management. Property management.
Property management. Anybody in here? What up?
Get him.
Why you in here? Speak up. Right down here. Right down here. First one on the door. Where?
In this situation that nobody was here, what'd you suggest? Should we go ahead and secure it, or should we go ahead and leave a notice that we were property management was here?
Leave a notice. Let them know we was here.
Yes, sir.
Most of the time that's because they broke in and they don't have keys.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it was open.
All right.
So you got a swatter. We're going to leave information that says we got 72 hours to leave. We're going to put your phone number on there.
Yes, sir.
If they don't call you, then we'll be back in 72 hours with a dumpster, and everything goes.
10-4.
They'll call you, they got some paperwork, then we'll go another route, we'll see what else happens from there.
you can't go inside, sir. I'm sorry. You got to wait for they get here and be inside any time now.
It's the proper time. You illegally broke into the house. Not your.
We have verification that was open wide open. I don't know. He said he owned it. He with the people and that he owned it, and that I got it. Yeah, I'm telling them that right now.
He's been removed from the property, and there was a group of guys in front of the property, just sitting in the vehicle, and they were asked if there were any weapons in the vehicle, and one person said yes, another person said no, and they seem to have several weapons in the vehicle. So now it seems to be a mass incarceration.
In the car.
It's always a good day when you see squatters going to jail. I looked up this company, and they look like they've been doing this for a little bit, and they're out of Chicago. This is their website. I'll post this stuff below just in case anybody wants to look them up. They got an Instagram here. Not logged in. What do we got here? Okay, this is the last one. Okay, so I did one. My most popular video was it with this handyman guy, Flash Shelton. He out-squatted squatters. I don't know if you guys want to watch it. I was in Iraq when I made this video. It's kind of poor quality. I'll play it. It's live. It doesn't matter. You can skip and, skip it if you want. But before I play that to finish out this video, here's his new website, Squatter Hunters. And if you want to show your support to him, which I followed him on X, see his stuff, what he's got going on. But this will be the last video I'll show.
What's up, landlords? You got to check this video out. I just found it and I wanted to share it and talk it through. Maybe point out some good things and some bad things. Basically, this guy took matters into his own hands and kicked out squatters. He said he squatted the squatters. It's kind of funny, but check out this video. Here he is. He's just a handyman guy, and this is his channel about handyman stuff. But I somehow come across it, and it's got a lot of attention. I liked it, and I went through the comments, at least some of them. There's so many comments. It's interesting. So I spent some time making some notes and wanting to talk it through because it makes me think. He's in California, so it's even worse, the legal system there with the rights the squatters have and everything. But it makes me think that if the government is not careful, more and more people are going to take matters in their own hands like this. Because if you read some of the comments on his video, I'll share his link, you'll see a bunch of other people saying, oh, I had similar experience, or my dad did this, or, my parent passed away and then this happened. And he even made jokes about it, that the realtors wanted to hire him for his services because this happens a lot. Squatters and like professional tenants are trying to game the system. I don't know. Let's just watch it and maybe I'll pause it along the way and we'll just talk it through. So here he is.
This is Flash from the United Handyman Association with Handyman Answers. So this video is about how I got kicked squatters out of my mom's house in a matter of hours without the support of law enforcement or the legal system. But first, I just wanted to say, this channel is about handyman businesses, supporting businesses, and fighting for respect and recognition for the skilled tradesmen. So if you are a handyman, or you know a handyman, or you hire a handyman, and you think that the handyman should be recognized as a skilled professional, please subscribe and help me spread that word. And if you're a handyman, then become a member. You can register for free at the UHA. That's the UHA.org. So anyway, so basically, I'm going to show you video and pictures of the incident, but I'm going to give you a little background. So basically, my father had passed away, and my mom couldn't be there on her own, so there was a vacant house, and we were going back and forth, renting, selling, and we tried to rent it. This individual reached out to us to rent it. She's a prison guard, and she reached out, and basically she didn't have any money, didn't have any credit, wanted to just trade repairs for whatever, and so we didn't approve her. Well, apparently she reached out because she was moving or something already in the process. So she ended up having the truck of furniture and everything literally moved into the house, and she said that it was delivered by accident and she was getting rid of it. Well, I started hearing from realtors that were going there trying to list the house, saying that, hey, there's this lady and people like in the house and a house full of furniture.
Okay, so I just want to stop it there. First, I want to say I'm not making fun of anybody. I actually commend this guy for putting himself out there and his struggles so we can learn from him. Mistakes are a good thing. For me, I kind of, explore life and make a bunch of mistakes and adapt and overcome. That's kind of how I've been able to progress in life. I've never been gifted to be like, I don't make mistakes, and I'm kind of like, so good that I don't make mistakes. I actually make a lot of mistakes, and that's how I learn. So I'm actually happy this guy put this out here. So first, he talks about how the lady had no money, no credit, and then she said this stuff accidentally got delivered, and then somehow it gets into the house. So my question is, how the heck did she get access to the house? And also, no money, no credit. She should have been, you shouldn't even been speaking to her at all. That goes into your pre-screening criteria. So if you have pre-screening criteria in steps, like a pre-leasing application, it can weed out people like this where you never end up communicating with them and they can't get in contact with you. But I don't know. So I'm just thinking there's some actually, I think in his description, he might have actually said how she got in. Breaking in the back door. So yeah, that's right. So she broke in to get into the back door. But it also goes back to not letting the tenant rush you. So it's a red flag when tenants are like, hey, I got to move in quick, or I got stuff getting delivered and all that mess. So that's just me talking out at least this part so far. So let's keep going.
There's nothing we can do. Then I started getting, reports from neighbors, and they were like describing her, and they were saying, yeah, they're here, lights are on at night, and so I mean, so basically, I had to take a trip and go, so what I first started doing is calling the police. I called the sheriff's department. They responded. They said that they're like, well, there's somebody in the house. I said, yeah, they don't belong in the house. Well, there's a house full of furniture and there's someone in the house. There's nothing we can do. We can't enter. There's nothing we can do. So I went back and forth with the sheriff's department, and they basically said, I'm sorry, but we can't enter the house, and it looks like they're living there. So you need to, you need to go through the courts. So at the end of this video, I will bring the sheriff's department back into this because I visited them after this and actually talked to the sheriff. But so basically, the prep work to do this, I'll go into, and I'll kind of describe each thing before I show you videos and pictures. But the first thing I did was I wanted to show legal cause for me since the house wasn't in my name. So we wrote up a lease agreement between my mom and I stating that I was a legal resident. So me being the legal tenant for the house, all I needed to do at that point was do the same thing they did and occupy the house. So, I've heard so many stories about people that, have gone through like major things with the courts, and it takes so long, and it just, and squatters' rights. So I just kind of figured out how I could do it without that delay, without all those problems. So if they could take a house, then I could take a house. So if they're the squatter and they have rights, well, then if I become the squatter on a squatter, then I should have rights, right? So I printed out lease agreement. My mom signed, I signed, legal binding agreement saying that I'm the legal tenant of the house. Okay. So now I load up my Jeep. I take firearm just in case. I'm assuming it's the prison guard that's there, but I don't know for sure. And I pack up my dog and we go on.
Okay, so I just want to point out that generating the lease is kind of smart, but after the fact and him making the video, it's kind of fraudulent because you're backdating it, and that would have been something good to have before all this happened, I would think. And also the firearm and the dog. I don't know if I would be putting that in a video, preemptively, talking about how you're going there with a gun. If you just happen to carry concealed when you got your permit and everything on a regular basis, and you just bring your dog in places, like no harm, no foul. But this is after the fact, and he's talking it through. Maybe he, wouldn't advertise this up in advance. Yes, she's a jailer, and you do have to wonder that some squatters could get violent. This is a lady that we're talking about, so maybe, and also she was a jailer, so maybe he kind of knew that she had a job, and he was thinking in the back of his head he could always go to her department and talk to her supervisor and explain what's going on. So I don't know. We'll go from there.
And I think it was like a 12-hour drive, and it was up in Northern California. And so I get there, and I get there at like 4 a.m. And I pull up, and there's cars in the driveway. And so I kind of stay in the city I was in. I stood out like a sore thumb. So I sit like back a few houses down the street, and I sleep in my Jeep, and I wait until morning. And about 7:30, 8 a.m., there was things happening, and cars pull out of the driveway. So about that time, I would say like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, I I go to, I pull in the driveway, and I figure, and I'm taking a chance that everybody's out of the house now at this point. So with everyone out of the house, I feel like I can now get in the house, but I have keys, so I don't have to break in. So I walk in, and here's the video of me walking in the house, and you'll see all the furniture and boxes and things like that.
I'll just say that it's smart that he's filming this just in case it went to court and he has proof.
Crazy, huh? Okay, so a lot of furniture, a lot of boxes. The house is completely full, and we're talking it's a 2-story house. And I didn't even go everywhere. I went. What you saw is living room and in the front bedroom. So so what I do now is I establish that yes, there's like tons of stuff in there. I was completely shocked. So what I do is I go to the local Home Depot and I get some Ring cameras, and I go and I start putting up Ring cameras, and I figure like I could monitor those for my house. So I'm installing Ring cameras, and then in the process of me installing cameras, this lady and her granddaughter pull up to the house, and they walk up to me, and we have a conversation, and here it is.
Hi, are you Flash?
Yeah.
I'm Marla.
Hey.
I'm really sorry about all this. I really am. It's just, it's a nightmare beyond. I mean,
The stuff is in the house. You told me that it was accidentally delivered and it was in the garage.
no, I didn't say it was in the garage. Oh, no. I never said that.
But
Well,
but anyway, I mean, clearly it's been in the house for
a long
a time, and I've had realtors over here telling me they can't do anything because of all this stuff, and so basically, I'm up here, I'm leaving, and it all has to be out before I leave. I've got guys scheduled to come take the stuff out later today.
One thing I noticed is she's kind of cordial, and he's very calm, and so those are good things. If you're going to approach somebody in this situation, I think it'd be a good idea to be polite, calm, and hopefully the squatter is kind and cordial as well. Even though they're kind of breaking the law and it seems unethical, you want to be mad at them, but even though she's lying and he probably knows this, he's kind of like, okay, I'm just going with the flow. And I also noticed that back, he's kind of polite, not putting the camera in their face, which is, I think, good. You can see enough and hear everything. I noticed the backyard is kind of overgrown and everything, and he's talking about installing cameras, and they were trying to sell this house, maybe rent it out. So does that mean the utilities are on and they're paying for the utilities and there's Wi-Fi in the house? And why aren't they mowing the backyard and taking care of it a little bit better if they are going to be selling it, or maybe even renting it out? So just some things popping in my mind. Let's keep going.
Okay, so either you take it out or I have to take it out and put it out on the driveway until it gets picked up. But I can't leave with anything in there, or whatever's left in there is staying in there. So I'm putting cameras up in a security system, and I have to deal with this house. So it's been way too long, and I need to do something. I need to get rid of it.
I've lost my crew somewhere, and I'm trying to load them down, but we're gonna load by load take it out of here.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, at this point I have no choice. I just need to.
I understand. I would be in.
I mean, I was overwhelmed by the amount of stuff when I pulled in here. When I pulled in here yesterday, I mean, I didn't expect all this. So.
Okay. Well.
This has just been a nightmare all along. And,
yeah, I'm sorry to have added to that. I really am. I'm sorry.
I wish we could have worked something out, but I couldn't do anything with no money.
I hear that.
So, all right. But at this point, I'm not. Clearly, I didn't call the police and press charges or anything like that. I just want it done, and then you and I need to talk about the financial inconvenience that this has caused, because I haven't been able to do anything with this house for months, because every time they come over here they tell me that there's people here and that there's furniture in the house.
That was worded really good. After it's over, let's deal with the financial inconvenience of this, because I wasn't able to rent it out and sell it. This guy is very personable, or he has good communication skills and stuff like that. So I don't think the average person can go do what he's doing, even though she's kind of polite and not being super hostile. She's apologizing and everything. Maybe it helps that I think that's her granddaughter, he said, that's there. I don't know. So I'm not advertising that this is a good thing to do, and I'm not trying to be like, hey, everybody should do this. I'm just pointing out that this guy took matters in his own hands, and this is what's happening, and it's entertaining and informative, and I think we all can learn something from this.
So.
And who's telling you that?
The realtors.
That there's people here.
Yeah. So neighbors tell me that they see people coming in and the lights on. Someone went in and turned on the power because the power was off to the house. So neighbors have been telling me that there's been a lady and some other people, like young and old, and some a mixture between female and males, coming in the house at night, and the lights are on at night.
Well, that would not be
neighbors
us.
there, neighbors there, neighbors there, and neighbors
That would
there.
never be us.
And those are the ones that have been calling me, telling me.
Yeah, move stuff in.
I mean, there's like earbuds sitting on the table and stuff on the couches. And
well, they went through all of those boxes have been gone through and moved. Yeah, no.
You don't know what's missing, and
yeah, so that's my fault. That is all of it. I should have paid better attention. That's beside the point. We just need to get it done and taken care of because
so just
make the right.
do what you can to get it out. Like I said, I mean, I have to start putting stuff in the driveway, and so that I can lock it up, because once I leave, you're not going to be able to get back in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm trying to give you.
No,
but I'm saying to get your stuff. I'm saying get your stuff out. Even if you don't have something to haul it with right now, get it out. Get it out here so that I can secure the house up. That's all. That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay, because I don't want to be the one tomorrow telling you, I'm sorry, I've got to lock it up and leave. I don't have flexibility here.
I hear you.
So that's why I'm telling you, just do everything you can to just get it out here. Okay, because then you can sit somebody here and worry about go get a truck at Home Depot for $17 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just telling you. I don't want to have this conversation tomorrow and be like, I'm sorry, I have to hit the road, and I'm, because at that point, I just have to secure the house, and I just have to go and. All right, so yeah, just do what you need to do. I'm going to be doing stuff, and just come and go and do what you need. Front doors. So she tries playing it off as in like she's just storing her stuff there, and oh my gosh, did you see that somebody's been in the house? When I already at that point had not only scoped it out, saw the same car in the driveway, but which she didn't know, but I had neighbors describing her. So when I saw her, I already knew what she looked like. The neighbors had already confirmed that she was in the house. She was there daily, nightly, and but she was trying to play it off as though like she was surprised. Oh my gosh, and they've gone through my boxes and everything else. So obviously that wasn't the case, but she didn't know what I knew. So basically, I talked to, there was tons of stuff. So I had to be prepared for her not to move out or not be able to get the stuff out. So I saw a couple young guys across the street, big, strong guys. I walk over and I'm like, hey, do you guys need any furniture? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, look, I said, I got a house full of furniture over here that if she doesn't get this stuff out by midnight tonight, you can, if you help me get it out, if you help me drag it out to the driveway, it's yours. You can.
No, I don't think that's smart. I don't think you can give away her belongings and stuff like that. So I think maybe he could have done better without saying that. Oh man, oh gosh, I wouldn't do that. But of course, maybe I wouldn't do any of this crap, and I would just go through the legal process and just get my lawyer and say, hey, start the eviction process, or hopefully I could have been able to prevent this from happening through the screening.
Absolutely anything you want for free. And they're like, sure, awesome. So I already had them lined up. And then, so she agreed to get the stuff out. And I, flat out, it's like, it's whatever. In my mind, I'm thinking, whatever you leave is mine, right? You're not going to be able to go back in the house. And I didn't want to be that guy. I was trying to be nice about it, as you could hear in the video. I just wanted it done. I just wanted them out, and I needed them out as fast as possible. So the funny thing is, she was having trouble getting somebody there to help. So at one point, and I wish I had this on video, she came over to me and she said, so how you said you had help? I said, yeah. She says, well, do you think they'll help me? And I laughed, and I'm like, I said, they were going to help me because I was going to give them your furniture. I said, I'm sure they'll help you, but if you're not going to give them the furniture, you'll probably have to pay them. So anyway, they get the stuff out, right? She brings in trucks and has a bunch of people, and all day long, they're taking stuff out, and you can see pictures. I've got pictures of video of the driveway, and here you go.
Look at all this junk. All this was accidentally delivered.
Oh, look at there. Rick's handyman service just showed up. Interesting. Okay, so in summary, I created legal, being the legal tenant. I then waited for them to vacate so then I could be the squatter. So I move into the residence, basically. I put up security cameras, and I let her know that, this is what I'm doing so that if you enter again, I'm going to call the police and trespassing, and I'm going to have you on video. I think just the fact that I was there was enough.
Yeah, that's a good point. Depending on, how you feel about this, if you're ever in this case where there are squatters, maybe it's worth a shot to go there and have a discussion and just be there in person and see what you can do. I know people talk about cash for keys, where he's like, hey, I understand that this is an inconvenience for you guys and you're here, and she's giving excuses or whatever. Say, hey, I'll give you $100. You got to get out of here today. This should be enough to cover the gas, the U-Haul, and everything. And you should not have to pay them to get out of your own house, of course, but it's a way to try to avoid the court system, especially in his state in California. So we'll just keep going.
Now get them out. They got everything out. You know, did they make the midnight deadline? No, but they had everything out. I was probably 2, 3 a.m. the last time I checked the cameras, and because I was sitting there watching them on cameras and just going and check. I think it was like 2, 3 a.m. when when they were finally like completely out. They were completely out of the driveway, out of the house. I went the next day and, I locked it all up, made sure cameras were working and stuff. But the other thing is, if you hire an attorney, you call the police basically, they're not going to kick them out. They're going to tell you to go to courts. Then you're filing a suit. I mean, the legal process is so slow. And at some point when they're in there, you're going to feel like that they have more rights than you do. And that's how you're going to be treated. So even though it's your house and you're paying the mortgage or whatever, squatters have, at some point, squatters feel like they have more rights than you. So they don't have incentive to leave until a judge tells them to, until they're actually ordered to. And that could take months, 6 months. It could take years. I don't know. I didn't want to take that chance. I heard stories, and this is the system I came up with. It's like, become the squatter on the squatter, and all their stuff is mine unless they get it out. So, maybe it doesn't work exactly as easy. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that's different than who I was, but that's how I did it, and that's what worked for me. Now, the sheriff's department, after all this was done, after I had everything secured, I drove to the sheriff's department. I went in, I asked, they let me talk to the actual sheriff. It was a small town. And I'm sitting in his office and I said, look, here's the story. This is what's going on. I said, this is what happened. I was honest. I said, I called your deputies. I called you guys, and your deputies would not go in there. I didn't know why. I didn't know if it was because they knew her. I didn't know what the situation was other than them saying, well, somebody's in there, so we can't do anything, which is absolutely idiotic. That I'm telling you, somebody just broke in. Can't you go take them out? So anyway, so I told him what I did. And, he was kind of shocked and like, oh my gosh. And, it's funny because I was told by the realtors that, oh my gosh, I could make tons of money, because up in these small towns where they're vacation properties, apparently squatting happens like daily. And they're like, oh my gosh, you could sell your service up here and make a killing off of getting squatters out of these homes, which, I'm not doing that for a living, but it was actually fun to do it. I won't lie about that. I'm glad it was successful. We were able to sell the home. And after I actually spoke with the sheriff, at that point, we filed a paper. He had me sign a paper that basically gave authorization to the sheriff's department. If they see anyone in the house at all, they are to arrest and ask questions later and call me. So
that's pretty much the end of it. You guys can watch this if you want. I'll just point out one last thing. There's a buddy of mine. He used to be a cop. He works with me here, and he explained that's an authorization to act. And basically, you can file those, but you need to do some things. I think you need to be that there might be a time limit on it. You also need to post no trespassing signs. If you are going to have contractors working there, you probably need to provide them a letter signed saying that you authorize them to perform work on this day or until complete. And also, maybe in this case, you probably want some vacant property insurance too, if the property is going to be vacant. So just in case squatters do get in there, a pipe bursts or something. And you probably, if you could have cameras, maybe a closed circuit camera with a battery backup, if you want to go that far, or maybe you have the power on because you're performing work, so then you can install a router and some Ring cameras. Just like food for thought. I thought this was an interesting, entertaining video, and I was like, man, I got to share this with other landlords. Maybe we can learn from this. So I hope this was good for you guys. Just let me know if you had any questions or anything, and I'll provide the link in the description so you can watch it too or share it with other people. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
I watch this, it reminds me of how I make a lot of mistakes. Whenever I made that video, a bunch of people were complaining that I kept pausing the video and adding my own commentary. People did not care about my landlord commentary at all. They were just like, play the video. I want to see what took place and what happened, and forget about you. So I kind of learned that lesson, and I try not to pause stuff and talk about it while it's happening. And it did remind me that it's kind of aggravating because I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like, what the heck? I'm really surprised that that was my most popular video, because I was just like winging it. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just trying stuff and see what works, trying to have fun with it. I'm pretty much done. I'm not going to be doing pull-ups today because I've been, let me see if I can show this. I've been doing my own little 22 pull-up challenge. Let me see if you can see that. This is day 16. So this is Final Cut Pro, and I've been editing it. So every day for the last 16 days, I've managed to do 22 pull-ups, and it's rough. I'm doing it in memory of Josh. We call him Smitty. And I made a page. Let me see if I can bring this up. In memory of Smitty. I'm trying to put together something on my website if anybody might stumble upon this. Suicide awareness prevention. So here's Smitty right here. I wrote a little something. You can make a pledge. I think this drops down to the, oh no, it goes to the next page. But $6, $100, or $1,000. Or you could say no, decline, and just do 22 push-ups. Or if you can do 22 pull-ups or anything, 22, exercise hard and do it 22 days in a row. I was thinking about putting it on X and maybe having people tag me there or something. I don't know. Just try to bring some awareness, because from my experience, when I got out of the military and I got rental properties, it was really helpful for me to have like a mission, a purpose, you know, something to keep me busy, you know. I don't know, just because you're used to like high tempo and, you know, doing stuff. So when you get out, and if you don't have much going on, purpose, he struggled financially too. So rental properties can help you with some income, mental health issues, and just trying to stay busy and focus. And that was his girlfriend before he passed away. Those are the pictures I got from her. It's pretty sad, but I always feel guilty because when around the time, just a little bit before he committed suicide, I was going through a weird phase where I wasn't wanting any friends on Facebook. I was actually like removing all the friends I had, and I only wanted like 10 or 20, the people that I actually saw. And he reached out after years and was like, hey, try to do a friend request, and I denied it. And I, like an idiot, I always felt guilty. So this is what kind of made me feel like I wanted to put this together in memory of him, create a Smitty fund. And if I could ever get a significant amount, I'm going to match it. And then what I'll do is I'll go to Fairways for Warriors nearby here. It's all, you know, combat vets and stuff. There's like a nonprofit. Maybe I'll put together some raffle. We'll pick some worthy veteran, and I'll help them find their first rental property, give them the donation, you know, film it and all this stuff, and help them manage it, because I'm all into like managing my properties. I love systemizing all that, and I have a school community here where I try to help landlords, you know, manage their own properties. But that's it for me today. I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel and just, you know, liking, watching whenever you can. Thanks. See you guys. Out.